Hollywood exists only from above. Spotlights, premieres, red carpets, that's the facade. A meticulously curated illusion designed to dazzle, distract, and disarm. But beneath that shimmering carpet lies a system cameras never reach. A labyrinth of whispered agreements, unspoken allegiances, and enforced silence. This is not the Hollywood of dreams. This is the Hollywood of control. It is a machine that decides who to elevate into myth and who to bury beneath the weight of collective amnesia. It forges legends with one hand and erases them with the other, the moment they cease to serve the interests of those who pull the strings from the shadows. If you've stopped seeing someone on screen, it's not coincidence. It's a signal. We've been conditioned to believe that stars vanish because of scandal, addiction, or personal failure. That their downfall is self-inflicted, a tragic flaw in an otherwise glittering arc. But the truth is far more insidious. They broke the rules of power. They spoke when they should have stayed silent. They questioned when they should have complied. And for that, they were made to disappear, not with a bang, but with a quiet, systematic deletion from public memory. We now possess documents, first-hand testimonies, internal memos, and corroborating evidence. Materials never meant for public eyes, stories deliberately interred beneath the velvet rug of glamour. We found a memo dated March 1953. It reads, "This name must not appear in any retrospective, award, or anniversary feature. Signed, Committee on Cultural Continuity." These are not conspiracy theories. They are patterns, echoes of a system that has operated with chilling efficiency for nearly a century. Hollywood is not merely an entertainment industry. It is a structure designed to control memory itself, to shape what we remember, how we remember it, and, most crucially, whom we forget. 3 surnames appear repeatedly in blacked-out sections of studio correspondence. Never spoken, never printed, but always present. Who decides which names will echo through history, and which will dissolve into silence? And what happens when someone becomes too powerful, too honest, or too independent for the gatekeepers who dwell in the shadows? Someday soon, you'll wonder why your favorite actor vanished. The answer won't be in the headlines. It'll be in the silence between them. This report is not an accusation. It is a restoration, a reclamation of erased voices, a map of the invisible architecture that governs fame, legacy, and truth in the land of make-believe. Charlie Chaplin, the man who laughed at power. Whoever controls laughter controls the people. Chaplin didn't just make them laugh. He made them think and laugh at those accustomed to giving orders. In an era when cinema was still finding its voice, Chaplin gave it a conscience. His tramp was more than a character. He was a symbol of dignity in the face of dehumanization, of wit in the grip of poverty, of resistance wrapped in humility. The 1920s. Washington begins circulating internal reports, classified, unmarked, but unmistakable in their intent. Excessive influence over the lower classes, agitational potential, ideological instability. To the architects of American conformity, Chaplin's empathy was subversion. His global fame was a threat. By the 1940s, as fascism rose in Europe and paranoia bloomed at home, his refusal to toe the nationalist line became intolerable. He criticized war profiteers. He questioned blind patriotism. He dared to suggest that the American dream had cracks, and that those cracks were widening. Then came the meeting no one was supposed to know about, held in a private room at the Beverly Hills Hotel. Attendees, 2 studio heads, 1 intelligence liaison, and a man known only as the archivist. 1947. The House Un-American Activities Committee turns its gaze toward Hollywood. Chaplin is not subpoenaed. He is offered a choice behind closed doors. Serve the interests of power by aligning his public image with state-approved narratives, or step away from the stage entirely. He refuses. Not with rage, but with quiet resolve. And Hollywood, ever loyal to its unseen masters, turns its back on him. 1948. Chaplin departs for Europe to attend the London premiere of Limelight. That very day, the U.S. Attorney General quietly revokes his re-entry permit. No trial, no formal charges, just a bureaucratic erasure. Overnight, the man who defined cinematic comedy for a generation becomes persona non grata in the country that made him rich. Studios halt distribution of his films. Exhibitors are pressured to pull his work from screens. His name is scrubbed from promotional materials, award retrospectives, and industry tributes. A global icon is recast as a pariah, not for what he did, but for what he represented: the dangerous idea that art could challenge authority. A studio executive's diary, declassified in 2018, notes, "Chaplin's films are to be stored, not shown. His name is to be mentioned only in past tense, as if already dead." He won't return to the United States for 20 years, and by then, the legend has already been rewritten. The textbooks speak of his genius, but omit his defiance. The retrospectives celebrate his technique, but silence his politics. The system didn't just exile Chaplin, it edited him. The real question isn't why he left, it's why they let him come back, only when he no longer mattered. Montgomery Clift, the beauty that threatened the masculine order. Beauty can be dangerous, especially when it defies ideology. Montgomery Clift changed Hollywood not through spectacle, but through subtlety. In an era of square-jawed heroes and stoic cowboys, Clift introduced vulnerability. He showed men crying, trembling, doubting. He made sensitivity heroic. And in doing so, he disrupted the rigid gender script that underpinned post-war American identity. His performances in A Place in the Sun, 1951, and From Here to Eternity, 1953, redefined screen acting. But it wasn't just his talent that unsettled the establishment. It was his refusal to perform off-screen masculinity in the approved manner. He avoided studio parties, rejected publicity stunts, and lived quietly, privately, authentically. 1956. A car crash after dinner at Elizabeth Taylor's home. The accident shatters his face. Surgeons reconstruct it, but the damage is more than physical. The face that once earned millions becomes a stark, haunting reminder of mortality and of the fragility of the Hollywood image machine. The public saw a wounded star. Power saw a liability. What happened in the hospital room that night? Nurses reported 2 men in dark suits reviewing his file. They weren't doctors. They carried no badges. Studios stopped calling. Offers dried up. Roles that once would have been his by right went to safer, more compliant actors. Newspapers, once fawning, now hinted at emotional instability, erratic behavior, and declining reliability. The narrative shifted, not a victim of circumstance, but a cautionary tale of self-destruction. He acted less and less, and died a little more each day. Friends reported his increasing isolation, his reliance on painkillers, his despair at being rendered invisible by the very industry he helped transform. On July 10, 1966, his heart stopped. Officially, an accident. Unofficially, a politically convenient ending. A 1967 internal memo from a major talent agency reads, "Do not attach Clift's name to any legacy project. His image disrupts brand cohesion." Hollywood pretended the greatest actor of a new era had barely existed. His name faded from award ceremonies, from film school curricula, from mainstream retrospectives, until decades later, when a new generation rediscovered him and asked, why was he erased? If you've never seen Judgment at Nuremberg or The Misfits, ask yourself, was that your choice or theirs?
Kim Basinger, The Cost of Speaking Truth. The price of truth in Hollywood is exile. 1998. Kim Basinger stands on the Oscar stage, golden statuette in hand, spotlight burning bright. She has just won Best Supporting Actress for LA Confidential. The world watches. And into that mic she speaks, not about gratitude, but about corruption. About the predatory contracts, the coercive power dynamics, the systemic injustice baked into the industry's foundation. Within months, she is hit with a $9 million lawsuit over a failed real estate investment in Georgia, a case widely seen as retaliatory. The fine was merely a tool. The real goal, to break her financially, emotionally, and professionally. To send a message: do not bite the hand that feeds you, even if that hand is choking you. Contracts vanished overnight. Phone calls went unanswered. Projects she was attached to quietly recast. The industry closed ranks, not because she failed, but because she disobeyed. Here's what the public didn't see. The day after her speech, 3 studio executives met with a legal firm specializing in reputational neutralization. Their client list is redacted, but the fee was $250,000. Hollywood rarely punishes failure. Flops are forgiven, even expected, but it always punishes disobedience. Speaking out is the original sin. She survived. She returned, slowly, painfully, on her own terms. But the rules remained unchanged. The machine learned nothing. It only grew more sophisticated in its silencing. Hollywood doesn't fear failure. It fears truth-tellers with an audience. Ask yourself, who hasn't spoken up since? Winona Ryder, public shame as social control. Public humiliation is not justice. It is theater. In the 1990s, Winona Ryder was more than an actress. She was a cultural cipher, the embodiment of Gen X alienation, intelligence, and irony. She starred in Heathers, Edward Scissorhands, The Age of Innocence. She was called the voice of a generation. December 12, 2001. Saks Fifth Avenue in Beverly Hills. Security footage shows her allegedly concealing merchandise. Cameras flash. Police arrive. Headlines scream: The Fall of America's Golden Girl. From indie queen to shoplifter. Security footage from that day shows store staff acting unusually. One employee later told a friend, "We were told to watch her, not because she stole, but because she needed to be caught." This wasn't punishment. It was a ritual, a public shaming designed to strip her of status, credibility, and relevance. The timing was suspicious, coming just as she was gaining leverage as a producer and advocate for independent cinema. 10 years of near-total silence followed. Offers disappeared. Her name became shorthand for cautionary tale. The industry used her downfall as a warning to others. Step out of line and we will destroy your image. Then, in 2016, Stranger Things offered a lifeline. Her return was celebrated. But on whose terms? Was it organic redemption or a carefully managed reintegration, permitted only when she no longer posed a threat? After Stranger Things, she was allowed back, but only as a nostalgic echo, never a threat. She returned, or was returned. There's a difference.
Brendan Fraser, the hero who spoke. Brendan Fraser was never a rebel. He was a hero without a mask, just a kind, generous man who loved his craft and his family. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, he was everywhere. The Mummy, George of the Jungle, Crash. He represented accessible, good-natured stardom. 2003. An industry event hosted by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Fraser alleges he was sexually assaulted by a powerful executive. He reports it. He speaks up. And just like that, he vanishes from contracts. Offers dry up. His calls go unreturned. Colleagues grow distant. The industry that once celebrated him now treats him as radioactive. Emails obtained from a former assistant show studio lawyers discussing Fraser containment strategy. One line, "Let time do the work. No need to dirty hands." 10 years of emptiness. Chronic pain from old injuries worsens. He undergoes multiple surgeries. His body gives out. His spirit falters. He becomes a ghost in his own life. 2022. The Whale. A raw, devastating performance.
At the Venice Film Festival, the audience rises, 6 minutes of thunderous applause. The world rediscovers him. But the system didn't apologize. It didn't acknowledge its complicity. Instead, it rewrote history, pretending it had always supported him, that his absence was a personal choice, not a consequence of speaking truth to power. But no apology came, only revisionism. He was always one of us, they now say, as if forgetting was loyalty. Delete, the erasure machine. Hollywood is not just an industry. It is a memory editing apparatus. When we began this investigation, insiders scoffed. That doesn't exist. But the paper trail says otherwise. Emails, blacklists, do not hire lists circulated among agencies. Quiet directives from studio heads. PR firms specializing in reputation rehabilitation, or more accurately, historical revisionism. There is an informal institution of control that operates parallel to the visible Hollywood. You think casting directors choose roles based on talent? No, fear does. There are lists, never written down, but universally understood, of those you mustn't work with, of those you mustn't mention in interviews, of those whose names must not appear in retrospectives, documentaries, or anniversary tributes. We've seen the lists, not digital, handwritten, kept in locked drawers, names crossed out in red ink. They call it, gently, reputation management. More accurately, memory censorship. If no one speaks of you, you cease to exist. Your films are shelved. Your awards are downplayed. Your interviews are scrubbed from archives. You become a footnote, then a whisper, then nothing. 3 names appear in every major blacklist from 1947 to 2005, always redacted, always referenced as the oversight. Hollywood is part of a broader political and economic machine. When success moves into your home, surveillance moves in across the street. Your loyalty is tested daily. Your silence is purchased. Your truth is edited. If you haven't seen a certain Oscar-winning actor in 5 years, despite his talent, ask, what did he say? A Marvel star vanished after refusing to sign a loyalty addendum to his contract. His scenes were reshot, his name removed from press kits. You probably didn't even notice. Another, an actress who won Best Actress in 2014, after criticizing a producer's behavior, she hasn't led a major film since. Her Instagram is active, her career is not. Success moves into your home, surveillance moves in across the street. Who's next? Disappearances aren't accidents, they're policy. If your favorite actor vanishes tomorrow, don't believe the stories about needing rest, creative differences, or taking a break. Breaks aren't taken here, they're imposed. Today, we've named 5, but there are others, dozens, hundreds. Some are household names whose sudden silence went unexplained. Others are rising stars whose careers stalled after a single act of defiance. We're tracking a new case right now. An actor who spoke out about AI voice cloning without consent. Within weeks, his agency dropped him. Projects stalled. His name disappeared from festival lineups. We have a leaked email. Apply standard archival protocol. Translation: erase him gently. We already know one of them. We're gathering evidence. We're preparing the next chapter. The sequel isn't coming. It's already playing. In theaters you can't see. Watch closely. The next disappearance has already begun.